Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to look at, actually logging in the social authentication, and we're also going to add these three buttons you saw earlier on in the first episode. So to start that off, we're going to implement FA icons. So you can find those on this site. And there you just head over to download, start actually, but we can't use this in Nuxt, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit and copy this over from my setup and then head into my editor here. Go to the Nuxt config, and then over here we're gonna actually in the link, so here gonna paste this in, and that is our FA icons. So I'm gonna leave this in the description so you can copy it. And what we also want to do is go add an env. So I'm gonna do that below the plugins. Alright, so here, so env, because we're going to need this later to define our base URL for the API endpoint. So base URL is going to be either process.env.base URL or just a static string hard coded in. For me it's jwtauth.com/API. So that should do the trick. Now if I just restart my server, alright, so that's going to boot up. Alright, so that has started my server again. So what I want to do now is create a new component, which is going to just basically show our buttons. So we're going to call it social login.view, and we'll start with a template, of course. Then we're going to have a class called social login, and inside of there, I'm going to create a button with a class of social login button. This one is Google. href is login Facebook. Oh, actually, I don't need this href, I think. Let's just leave that empty because we're going to attach a handler. That's much easier. Facebook was wrong anyway, so let's just continue on with Google. So that is going to be our markup. Let's copy this down. Let's have one for Facebook, or alright, let's do Facebook here, like the example. I think this was the order. Google for GitHub and Facebook. And then this has to be, of course, GitHub. And this has to be Facebook. So what we now want is script. So I'm going to have a method here. That's going to be social login. We're going to pass in a service. And then all this is going to do is basically redirect us to that backend endpoint. So that's going to be window.location.href. Then we're going to do backticks. process.env.base URL. And then we're going to add in the endpoint, so auth, login, and then the service. And that's it for the script. So now we can attach the handler. So this is going to be at click equals social login, passing Google. And then we're going to copy this, add it here, GitHub, and Facebook. And now I just want to attach some styling to this. So let's see, we have a social login class, style with SCSS. So .social login, I'm going to display flex, justify content center, and then I'm going to have color white, border radius 5 pixels, I'm doing something wrong here, I think. Alright, so we had this wrong. Change this over from SAS to SCSS. My mistake. Margin left of 5 pixels. Margin right also 5 pixels. Width of 50. Height of 50. Font size 23. Cursor pointer. And then we're going to have the Google, GitHub, and Facebook classes. So Google, GitHub, and Facebook. So the backgrounds, I have these colors on my other screen, so I'm just going to copy them over. This, and this one, the last one. Alright, so I think that's it for this class. So now what we can do is we can actually implement it in this, in this view. So what we do is we just import the component down here. Just say import social login from app components, social login, and then we register the component. So I think I'm going to do this here. Components, social login, and then I think we want it right here, so above the card. So social login, that should do the trick. Let's see. Alright, so they don't look so good. Let's see. Alright, there they are. We just needed to refresh for some reason. But I don't really like the margin, so I think I'm just gonna remove this. Alright, and then I'm gonna add it here. Yes, that looks better. And if I click here, I can just be redirected to the page. Same for this one. That already locks me in. But the colors are wrong still. So let's go back here, swap these around. Alright. Yeah, that's better. And then let's copy this. Go to register. Do the same here. MT4 again at the top. Oh, of course we need to import the component, so I'm just going to copy that as well. Import the component and register it. Social login. Right. Yes, that has worked. So now we actually click the button and we get registered to this route. So we need to, of course, make this route. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another page, of course. So that is going to live in auth folder and then social-callback.view. So let's create that. Auth, new file, social-callback.view. And then we're just going to have a simple template. I think you will be able to style this a bit better than me. So I'm just going to have please wait in here because it's going to load a little bit and log the user in. So I'm going to add script, data, return a JSON object, a JavaScript object, then this route query a token, or it's going to be this. I mean, actually, if that's available, it's going to set it to the token. If it's not available, it's just going to set it to null. So it's mounted. So when it's mounted, we're just going to call the login function. We need a JavaScript object in here, token, and then this token, and then we're gonna catch this if it fails, and we're just gonna push back to the register page for now. Error is token appeared to be invalid. Please try again. Alright, so I think that's it. We still need to do one thing though. We need to edit the backend to handle this, but yeah, let's just see what happens. So, right, render function or template not defined, that should be fixed now. So we now get redirected back to the register page, and it says that we are logged in, which is correct, because we need to fix that up right now. But first, in the backend, I'm going to fix this redirect. So let's put this in. /social callback. We forgot that. So I'm just gonna go actually. So we need to go to the login controller, and in there we need to go to, let's see, to login, and then above here we're gonna attempt login with token. So we're gonna say if request input token, then we're gonna this off set token, and we're gonna set it with that token, and then we're gonna say user equals this auth authenticate. So it's gonna try and authenticate with that token. If there is a user, we're just gonna copy the response, the success response, except for actually we can also pass in the token just for good practice. Request input token, data is then the request user. Alright, this looks good. So now if I try again, please wait, and then I'm logged in. So that works great. I'm gonna sign out again. So yeah, I think that's it actually for this episode. In the next episode, we'll just look at handling backend errors and redirecting to the register page when we have a register error, to the login page when we have a login error, and actually displaying the error message. So yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah, and hope to see you in the last episode of these series. So yeah, bye bye.